guys, and welcome back to another ARTlapse, a series where I share a time lapse of my art and we talk all about creativity. First, I want to mention that I have been in major life transitions during these past couple of years in the pandemic, which we all have, which prevented me from doing YouTube for a while. I had to take a step back and I had to take a break. I've since moved twice, had each of my parents hospitalized at different times, and they're both in recovery and doing well, as well as my granny baby Mossy passed away, may she rest in peace. And on top of that, dealing with the whole pandemic thing. But we're here now, and I'm so ready and so excited to bring new content to this channel to help inspire my fellow creatives. So stick around and stay tuned. Today, I would like to talk about accessing the creative flow state. During my absence, I have dealt with so many complications and hurdles which have disrupted the flow state, and each and every time I've had to find my way back into the flow for my art. Since our last update, I've been working on Magikats Book 2, The Mystery of the Moss, which is named after our granny baby Mossy, since that's their first appearance in the Magikats series. May she rest in peace. And it is the best thing I have ever created. I'm so freaking proud of everything I've poured into this book, as well as all the discoveries I've made along the way that I have learned in the sometimes struggle to complete it. Today, I'm illustrating one of the final pages in the book, and I absolutely love Lavender's final line of this book. The best and most important part in life is to have the opportunity of being a part in a life, which means that the best part of life is those we share it with, and we should not forget it. If you would like to support the series, I have Magikats The Wand of the Vale Book 1 available in my shop along with other magical merch, so peep those links below. Thank you for your support. Now on to the lecture. So how does one access the creative flow state? We must start to view ourselves as divine channels where creativity flows in and out of us and through us. We are conduits of creation. This is the nature of all things. Things are constantly being created and evolved in nature, all around us at all times. So the more we get in our minds about it, the more anxious and wound up or forceful or egoic we get about it, the more we disrupt this divine, pure flow. And at that point, there is no forcing to create. We must tend to the self. There is no point, because your energy, which you transmute, dictates the feeling of your creation, and your audience feels that. It is the clay in which you mold. So the best thing to do is to take a break and tend to what is of utmost importance. Make it a priority. Make yourself a priority for your creation, but most importantly, yourself. It is up to us and our responsibility to remember we are human beings first, and that we need to tend to our most basic needs to be optimal creators. We are our own biggest and greatest asset, and it is up to us to maintain our system, body, mind, and spirit, so that we can cultivate well-being and use our emotions, energy and motion, which is one of our greatest resources to fuel the pursuit of our creation. If your emotions are sluggish, your creations will be sluggish. If your emotions are forced, your creations will be forced. If your emotions are happy and enjoying the process and just reveling in the deliciousness of creation, honey, your audience will feel this in your artwork. You better trust. Our best creations comes from our sense of well-being, because it is reflected into our creations. It is poured into it. Your well-being isn't a privilege. You don't need to prove yourself worthy of self-care and being taken care of. It is your responsibility because you are inherently worthy. Your art is the thing that is a privilege, and you should reserve your absolute best self for creation, so that you can create something that you are proud of. This comes from finding a balance within so that we can utilize our emotions from a place of stability, from a grounded place, from a strong foundation to create things in our absolute best state. And also because we are worthy and deserving of feeling good, hello, we need not prove it. We are already worthy inherently, and we are worthy of enjoying the process of creation as creatives. It is the only time we ever truly own our creation after all, because once it is released into the world, it is no longer ours. It no longer belongs to us anymore. So it's the best thing for us to learn, to enjoy the act of creation, because this is the only stage where our creation actually belongs to us. So no more rushing through and chasing white rabbits, you hear me? So we must cultivate discipline as creatives to seek the middle way and avoid extremes, to find the balance within and to choose moderation. Take the smallest steps you can towards your goals. This is how you avoid burnout, and this is how you cultivate consistency. This is how you avoid rushing, and this is how you learn to be truly present with yourself, with your life, and with your art. In this presence where all outer noise begins to fall away, can we begin to pick up the pieces of our lives, process them, use them as fuel and inspiration, and transmute darkness into light through our art. This is how we create meaningful art that has purpose. You see, because artists are alchemists of their life. We are taking our journey, our experiences, and different parts of ourselves and sharing our own unique point of view with the world, because we have something to say, we have something to share, and this is alchemy. And with alchemy and creation, we must learn to be open, but also to be curious, to weigh our options, to not be afraid to experiment and try something new, to dip our toes into the water just to see what happens from there. We must take matter into our own hands, for we are the creators if we want to see a change in our creation. Doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting different results does not cultivate any evolution or change or meaning. So we must learn to let go of ego to allow the evolution of our art and our creations the way that it desires to flow, because that is true growth. And that is what creativity wants to do through you. It wants you to grow. And growth requires gentleness. It requires presence. It requires patience. So learn to enjoy the journey and stop chasing the destination. Take your time with your creativity, because ultimate presence is when absolute magic flows through you. Whenever I have tried to force writing or force a drawing, it will take me hours and hours, and at the end of it all, you can see me suffocating the creation with my control. When I am in that flow state, honey, it flows effortlessly through me from start to finish, because I've opened myself up to the flow state. I am present. So I am intentional. I am not rushing. I'm allowing the creation to develop organically through me. So we must go with the flow, you see. Once your cup is full and you are able to give to your creation, let your cup runneth over, and use your excess energy to give to your creation. Be generous. This is the time to replenish our creative life and nourish our creativity. So once we cultivate vulnerability, openness, and honesty with our own creation, we can share our feelings into the creation itself. We can create from our heart center rather than the mind, which only serves as a judge and inner critic who disrupts the flow. Sure, the mind can have valuable insights to share, but tell your thoughts to hold back until you have completed the flow state. And then they can chime in, or else they are interrupting the whole process, and we cannot grow anything out of this beautiful flow of creation if we are being disrupted, you see. In creation is the time to express our whole self unapologetically in whatever way we find meaningful, free from our own inner judges. Once you have completed your creativity and exited the flow state where magic was happening through you, if you have been in the flow state, you know what I mean. This is the time in which we can gather others and share our creation with the world. But I advise you not to invite people into your flow state while it's happening. People will have their opinions and projections, and sure, we can learn from other perspectives, but the act of creating is something intimate between creator and creation and should not be disrupted, as we might lose access to that precious, pure flow state for creation. So if you want to take a pause and invite someone into your process, that is perfectly fine. Just remember that it is only you who has access to the whole vision they may not see. Also, I want to add a note. You can collaborate with others and create from a flow state as well. Magic can happen together and on a team as long as there is a shared vision. So you've finished with your creation. Now is the time to celebrate, commemorate this milestone. Welcome others into your world and be inclusive while remembering you will not be everyone's cup of tea, and that is perfectly fine. You should not water yourself down in your powerful essence for anyone. You are a powerful creator who created something meaningful, beautiful, unique, and special out of nothing. It would not exist without you. Feel pride in your work. Feel the fullness of your creation fill you up. Do not deprive yourself of such emotions to fill you as a powerful creator by deflecting it and waiting for permission from outside validation. You are special on your own. You are rare, and so is anything you can create. If you create from a truly heart-centered place, then only you could have created something so unique, and that is truly priceless. Then, after you have celebrated, tended to your needs, taken care of your vessel, filled your cup, pick up and start again. Your nature is a creator, so do not deprive your nature. Continue to move towards your goals. Every act of creation is a touchdown, and to the victor goes the spoils.